How do you feel when a minister of the Crown tells you that your freedom and your freedom of choice is going to be taken from you on a matter as to whether you want a vaccination for the COVID-19 or not? This is serious stuff. Now, I personally can't or don't get excited about these people jumping up and down that they don't want a vaccine. Those people have their views, and some of them truly believe what they're fighting for is correct. I don't. On the other hand, I think the vaccine is possibly something we should certainly be considering and being and taken by the individual. I'm from an era which it was our generation that wrote off all those other horrible things, whether it be whooping cough, measles, mumps, scarlet fever, all those, because it was people like my parents, my mum, who took me down with my sister to be injected by the doctor with the vaccines for those, and we all know that most of those have disappeared, but they've started to come back again, particularly measles, and even whooping coughs coming back again because the modern day parent will not have their child or refuse to have their child vaccinated against these particular real dangerous nasties. But it was our generation that got rid of it. Now it's this silly generation that are allowing them to come back. So in this generation we have at the moment, we have adults who are brainwashing children that vaccination is not the right thing to do. Now they believe this. I don't know why. I've been reading the stuff that they place their hat on, and it doesn't stand up to me. But to them it means something. So we now have in New Zealand, we now have the government threatening to come after you. Yes, even Chris Hipkins has been in front of television telling New Zealand and New Zealanders, and in fact the world are horrified to hear a Minister of the Crown of New Zealand saying these words, that if you don't get vaccinated, they are coming after you. And it's even got to a point that some members of the House say, well, those people should be removed from society and put into a camp. Now, I know that's extreme, and I doubt whether that could ever happen, but remember, the lockdowns were illegal. Many parts of the whole COVID-19 program put forward by the Ardern government was illegal. In most cases, what they did was probably correct, but it was still illegal, and they haven't at this stage not faced up to those actions. But this one is really a worry. Now listen to what Chris Hipkins actually says about will come after you.
I think early next year we'll be in the phase of chasing up people who haven't come forward to get their vaccination or have missed their bookings and so on. So everyone will be able to get a vaccine between now and the end of the year. But of course, and I want every New Zealander to come forward, but human behaviour suggests that there will be some people that we have to actually really go out and look for, and some of that may spill into next year. But our commitment is everyone will have the opportunity to get the vaccine by the end of the year. Everyone will, but I can't say that, that we're not going to have some hesitant people or some people who just haven't come forward that we don't have to go out and find next year.
Well, what do you think of that? That's pretty clear, isn't it? Can you say that had any other meaning but if you have not been vaccinated, they are going to come and find you, they're going to ask you why you haven't been vaccinated, and they are certainly going to be putting pressure on to have you vaccinated. Now, is this what New Zealand is all about? This is something that I said in one of my earlier blogs this week, is that This is an indication that this government, this Jacinda Ardern government, is becoming so far left that they think that they can say this, they can even think they will do it, and they believe they have the right to chase after you to insist that you have a vaccination. Is that what your grandparents, your fathers, your uncles all went overseas to fight for the freedom and the democracy of this country? Those men and the women who went overseas and fought and died for this country, fought and died for our freedom. And yet we're sitting here watching this woke government of Ardern become more and more communistic in their approach, in their ideals, and they truly believe in their crazy little minds, yes, those silly little political minds, that they have the power over you to chase you down and ask why you have not had a vaccine, and will be putting those people in a position to probably have a vaccine. Now, as I said earlier, I have no problem with the vaccine. I've had the vaccine. I've had no side effects unless I'm going to drop dead in 3 years' time with an exploding brain or something. I don't know. But people who are reading a lot of the nonsense about these vaccines and putting the wrong spin on it, they have the right to say, no, I'm not happy about it. No, I'm going to refuse to have it. That is freedom, the freedom of choice, which our forebears fought for. And they were not out there fighting for your freedom, my freedom, and for the freedom of this country. To have that destroyed by that pack of, well, I can't believe, ignorant people who are presently running this country.